Welcome back to BK Collectables. If you love rare American coins, fascinating mint history, and the thrill of finding treasures in the most unexpected places, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Today, we're going back in time to uncover the story of one of the smallest and lightest silver coins ever produced by the United States Mint, the 3-cent silver piece. This tiny coin, often overlooked and misunderstood, holds a significant place in the evolution of American coinage. And along the way, we'll tie it into other well-known coins, placing the 3-cent silver in its rightful context among American numismatic treasures. The 3-cent silver, sometimes affectionately referred to as a trime by collectors, made its debut in the early 19th century and remained in circulation for just over 2 decades. Yet in that short span, it witnessed monumental changes in American economic history, technological innovation, and even wartime finance. So let's travel back to the early 1850s. By this time, the United States was expanding rapidly, westward, industrially, and demographically. The gold rush was in full swing, postage rates had just been reduced, and the country was growing more connected through railways and communication lines. Against this backdrop, a curious issue had taken hold of American commerce: the shortage of small-denomination coins. Specifically, silver coins were being hoarded or melted down due to their intrinsic metal value exceeding their face value. This created real headaches for merchants, postal clerks, and everyday citizens trying to make change for small transactions. Enter the 3-cent silver, first authorized by Congress in the Coinage Act of 1851. This act had 2 major goals. First, to provide a practical solution for paying the newly reduced 3-cent postage rate. And second, to introduce a coin whose silver content was intentionally lower than its face value to deter hoarding and melting. The coin's silver purity was set at 75%, significantly less than the 90% standard used in coins like the seated Liberty dime or seated Liberty quarter. The first year of production was 1851, and the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. It had a diameter of just 14 millimeters, making it the smallest coin ever produced by the United States Mint in terms of diameter. In weight, it tipped the scale at only 0.8 grams. It was tiny, lightweight, and easy to lose, but it was also instantly recognizable thanks to its unusual design. The obverse of the original 3-cent silver featured a 6-pointed star with the Union shield in the center. The reverse displayed a stylized C, enclosing the Roman numeral 3. The use of symbolic imagery, like the star, and the shield was intended to evoke a sense of national unity, particularly important in the years leading up to the Civil War. As simple as it was, the design proved problematic over time. The small size of the coin made it difficult to handle and easy to confuse with other coins, or even lose altogether. Furthermore, the thin planchets led to weak strikes, and many coins came out of the mint with poor detail. These early issues are now categorized as Type 1 3-cent silver pieces. By 1854, the silver content was raised back to 90% to align it with the rest of the circulating silver coinage. Along with this change, the coin underwent a redesign to improve striking quality and visual appeal. This marked the beginning of Type 2 3-cent silver coins, which featured a modified obverse with a triple-bordered star and a more detailed shield. On the reverse, the numeral 3 was given additional ornamentation. This type was only produced for 2 years, 1854 and 1855, and is considered scarcer today due to its limited run and relatively low mintage numbers. The final iteration, known as Type 3, began in 1859 and continued until the coin's final year of mintage in 1873. The changes for this type were minor but notable. The star was enlarged and given a single border, and the lettering and numerals were sharpened. These coins tend to have better strikes than their predecessors and are generally easier to find in higher grades. During its lifespan, the 3-cent silver was produced intermittently, with certain years seeing little to no mintage due to low demand or changes in mint priorities. By the end of the Civil War, the coin had largely outlived its usefulness. Paper fractional currency and the newer 3-cent nickel, introduced in 1865, were quickly taking its place in commerce. The 3-cent nickel had several advantages. It was larger, easier to handle, and not prone to hoarding since it contained no silver. The Coinage Act of 1873, often referred to as the Crime of '73 by silver advocates, officially ended production of the 3-cent silver. That same legislation also discontinued the 2-cent piece, half dime, and silver dollar, while introducing the trade dollar to facilitate commerce with East Asia. Collectors today look at the 3-cent silver as a unique artifact of its time. Its small size, short lifespan, and unusual denominations make it a fascinating addition to any American coin collection. Key dates for collectors include the 1851, the only New Orleans mint issue for this coin. It's the only time the 3-cent silver was produced outside Philadelphia, and it's distinguishable by the small O mint mark on the reverse. Another standout is the 1855 coin, especially in high grade, due to its low mintage and the weak strikes common to Type 2 coins. Now, let's talk about how the 3-cent silver fits into the broader landscape of American coinage. While it may not have the iconic status of the Morgan dollar, the Walking Liberty half dollar, or the Buffalo nickel, it remains a critical puzzle piece in the story of how the United States adapted its coinage to meet the needs of a growing nation. Compare the 3-cent silver to the seated Liberty half dime, which circulated during roughly the same period. Both were small denomination silver coins designed for everyday use. However, the half dime was slightly larger and heavier, making it a bit more practical in commerce. The 3-cent silver, by contrast, had a specific use case, postage, and once that need faded, so did the coin itself. Likewise, the 3-cent silver offers an interesting contrast with the 3-cent nickel. The silver version was created in a time of monetary conservatism, when the intrinsic value of coins mattered deeply. By the time the nickel version came along, the United States was moving toward fiduciary coinage, where the value of the coin was backed not by the metal it contained, but by the authority of the government. The switch from silver to nickel in the same denomination tells a broader story about evolving trust in the financial system and the practicalities of running a modern economy. From a design standpoint, the 3-cent silver is often seen as a minimalist coin. It lacked the artistic flourishes found on later coins like the Mercury dime or the Standing Liberty quarter. But there's a certain elegance in its simplicity, a design meant for mass utility, not gallery display. And that's part of its charm. It was a coin made for people to use, to touch, to carry in their pockets and use to mail letters or buy a small treat. For collectors today, the 3-cent silver offers several entry points. Type 1 coins are the most common, especially those dated 1851 and 1852, making them accessible to beginners. Type 2 and Type 3 coins are harder to find in high grade, but add rich diversity to any collection. Proof versions exist as well, particularly from the later years, and these can be real showpieces if you're building a premium set. As with all collectible coins, condition matters. Many 3-cent silver coins exhibit weak strikes or heavy wear, so finding one with sharp detail and strong luster can be a rewarding challenge. Look for full shield lines and a clear outline of the star. On the reverse, the numeral 3 should be distinct, with minimal wear on the inner scrollwork. And while the 3-cent silver may not command the same attention or high auction prices as a 1909's VDB Lincoln cent or an 1893's Morgan dollar, it holds a special place in American coinage history. It tells the story of a nation experimenting with its money, balancing the tension between intrinsic metal value and practical need, and responding to rapid technological change in everyday life. It also serves as a reminder that coin collecting isn't just about big-ticket rarities. It's about context, history, and understanding, how even the smallest coin can reflect the values, challenges, and ambitions of its time. The 3-cent silver is a window into an era when a single coin could represent innovation, adaptation, and national purpose, all in just 14 millimeters of silver. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, don't overlook the humble 3-cent silver. It's a coin that may be small in size, but it carries a big story, and one that deserves a place in any well-rounded American coin collection. Thanks for joining us here at BK Collectables. If you haven't already, Make sure to subscribe for more stories like this, where history and treasure meet in the palm of your hand.